What is up, Philly? And welcome back to the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast, presented to you by Hungry Dog Sports Blog, which is still not up yet. We swear we're working on it. We're in the process of developing a little bit. But here with me, as always, is my boy, Ethan John. Ethan John, how are you doing today?
I've been up for about 3 hours today, so I'm just gonna try to
Lots of
get through this.
naps.
No, when you texted me at like 5, that was before I even went to bed. But
Oh my God.
Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I know you're telling me that it's a bad thing. But anyways, we're just gonna we're just gonna start with the news that I saw coming. I didn't know if they would follow through
You
with it,
saw
but
this coming? Are you
yeah,
kidding me?
yeah, of course.
Really?
I thought they should have done that. I didn't think they would, but they did. So
Yeah.
okay, so Cam Newton has signed a lucrative deal with the Patriots for 1 year. So I think how it works is
Crazy
if he plays
incentives.
like trash, he's not even getting paid, which is weird. But
I mean, I think he's still getting paid. I think the fact is the New England Patriots have little to no cap space. I
yeah,
think they have $2 million in total. They're probably gonna have to cut somebody for this contract to be able to pay him these incentives that they have in. But
yeah,
should the New England Patriots be a playoff team, Cam Newton will get his bag. That's for sure.
yeah.
But what are we thinking? I mean, this changes the whole scope of the AFC East. This is
hmm
insane.
I mean, I still prefer Buffalo a little bit, but I won't. You can never doubt the Patriots. They're never gonna go away probably for a while. So
Yeah. I mean, I never preferred Buffalo, to be honest. I mean, I talked about it the first episode we did, actually. Um, but I like Josh Allen. Not a ton, but I like him. I like that defense.
yeah,
But the fact that you still have the greatest coach in NFL history and a
yeah,
system that's been running for 20 years and a defense, which you look at that secondary, Gilmore, McCourty brothers. I mean, this team is just loaded defensively, and the fact is, Tom Brady did not play at truly a superstar quarterback level last season. And I
yeah,
know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. But the fact is, he showed signs of age. He looked,
yeah.
I mean, not done, but to an extent, that defense was the heart of that team and the reason why they were the number one seed in the playoffs, not that offense. So I think if Cam Newton plays, to even that level,
Yeah.
that team will not be the number one seed. But I think they have the AFC East under locks, to be
hmm
honest,
Yeah, I know. I know there's some insane people that say that Tom Brady's a system quarterback, but
which is ridiculous.
yeah. But I mean, if you're going by that, Cam Newton should be good. I think
Yeah.
I think it's a weird fit with Bill Belichick, to be real, but
Well, I mean, New England has always adjusted their system for different quarterbacks and different players. You look at it. I mean, when Jacoby Brissett was playing, you know what I mean? They weren't
yeah,
running the same offense as they were with the GOAT Tom Brady.
yeah.
And so I think you're going to see a lot more of like an RPO, quick passing, almost like a
hmm
Lamar, Baltimore Ravens like offense,
hmm
where you could get Cam Newton downhill running. You have a solid running game. I mean, I love James White, fantasy football PPR legend.
hmm
And I mean, your receiver weapons aren't great, but Julian Edelman's still a top 25 wide receiver in the NFL and definitely a number one. N'Keal Harry has potential. Saw him as like an Alshon Jeffrey out of college, great jump ball guy. And yeah, I mean, there are pieces on this offense that if it can fit together, I don't know if that defense is still going to be the strength,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see top 15 offense, top half of the league.
Yeah. I just think I can't see Cam Newton replicating his success like 4 or 5 years ago, but I still think
No,
he has potential to be a above average quarterback. I
he's
think
never going to be the same after that era.
I think right now I'm hesitant to say that he's the best in the division, but if
Oh,
but if the system favors him, he will play as the best quarterback in the AFC East.
you want
Because
a
I
hot
mean,
take?
yeah, good.
Tua will be the best quarterback in that division.
I mean, I definitely think he will, but like at this exact moment, I don't really.
I think
As
he will
much as
play better
I
than Josh Allen.
yeah, as much as as much as I stand by him for no reason, Sam Darnold is the worst.
Sam Darnold's
And
the worst. Yeah,
Josh Allen, while I like his mobility and I like his arm, he still has a lot of issues like accuracy and
I mean, look, Josh Allen showed great potential at the end of the regular season. This is
yeah,
no knock on Josh Allen. I
yeah,
mean, you watch the tape from that Cowboys Thanksgiving game. That was great.
yeah.
But the arm's still not totally there. The accuracy's still not totally there. And there still really aren't that many weapons around him. His O line isn't fantastic. I mean, as far as receivers, not.
I I think
He
they
does
definitely
have Stefan
did.
Diggs now, which is a huge upgrade,
Yeah, for sure.
but there's not a fantastic number two, Cole Beasley. You know what I mean? And so,
I I am a John Brown apologist because I had him on my fantasy team.
John Brown,
He had a
really?
decent. I think it's a similar situation to Diggs. How I think Diggs was so good last season because he was the number two because it was all the elite corners on Thielen. But
Yeah,
I think if that's the same thing with John Brown, he'll definitely have a better season than he did last year because I think it is ridiculously unfair to have like a mid-tier receiver being guarded by like Gilmore and
exactly.
Davian, and then like the division, this division is like a really good secondary, like especially Miami and
Yeah.
obviously New England.
If Jamal Adams stays, you can make an argument for New York.
I mean, they have Logan Ryan, they have some Bryce Hall decent
Yeah.
corners, but
I still don't understand why they signed Logan Ryan, but
yeah, I mean,
that's
I
fine.
kind of wanted him to go to the Eagles, but nah, whatever.
I I didn't want that contract. What's he, 31 now?
Yeah,
Like that's something I don't want to take on for this Eagles team. But yeah, I was saying New England before. I think the main focus point should be that Cam Newton does not have to be super Cam for this team to be great and contend in the playoffs. And I think they will. I think they got it in the locks.
I mean, yeah, I it's definitely up to if Josh Allen can handle the Buffalo offense because
Yeah,
that's what will make or break their season because their defense is still incredible. So
exactly.
I
I love all
mean,
the
yeah, and
slightly.
I also agree that Cam Newton just has to be fine. He can have like I say 20 touchdowns, 11 picks. That would be fine for me.
Yeah, that would be fine. That's
Yeah,
around what Tom did last season, isn't
yeah.
it?
He just
Yeah.
has to be good enough. He needs to use his legs, just not get
Yeah.
killed. And
That
they
offense
definitely have
just
a
can't
shot.
turn the ball over.
Yeah.
That offense, and I don't think it will because I think Belichick, the way Norv Turner built that offense around Cam in Carolina, I think Belichick is more than capable of doing the same thing, being the best coach of all time. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's it's crazy. Who would I know you say you thought, but I thought he was going to the Chargers to be honest. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought.
All right. So, uh, we're as we record this, we're about a month away from the NBA returning, and they release the
So long,
schedules,
bro.
and we're gonna go game by game for the Sixers, but we're gonna start with the best and worst looking games. So Adam, I haven't really looked at the schedules that much, so you can go ahead.
All right. So I was kind of geeking out Friday night when this came out, and I decided to fill out every single game on the NBA schedule because I was very bored. And so for me, as far as games that really stand out, I mean, you got to start with opening night.
Yeah.
Clippers Lakers. I mean, come on. I think with we're going to talk about it later, but the Lakers have had a loss of depth considerably with the loss of Avery Bradley and possibly Dwight Howard as well. And so for me to see a matchup that early with the Clippers bench depth and Kawhi and PG against LeBron and AD, who really could be just doing it themselves, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be insane. I mean, that might be the game of this whole season, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
And
as far as
then,
the regular season
yeah,
goes, obviously.
yeah,
Well, there's a few 8 games, but
yeah. And I mean, honestly, that's opening night. I mean,
Mhm.
that atmosphere is going to be as tight as a playoff game. These guys are going to be ready to play. They've been locked in for 3 months. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I circled Boston and Toronto.
Yeah, bigger game.
Which, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of games you can look at on the schedule, but really it's just interesting for me because these two teams, honestly think either one of them could take down Milwaukee. I love what Boston's going with the return of Kemba and what's really been a breakout season for Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
If he can show something in this game against Pascal Siakam, I think that's a great matchup at the 4 spot. I mean, these are the defending champions. This is really one of their first big games besides the win against the Lakers. And they can show something here, make a statement. I think that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say. The only game that I remember seeing as like a big game was like literally New Orleans and Memphis. That would be a fun game considering it's like Ja versus Zion, but like whatever. Okay,
I mean,
because I have much deeper thoughts on the Sixers because that's all that
oh
really
yeah.
matters to me. But
All right. So, do you want to start with the Sixers?
yeah, okay. So we're just as I said, we're just gonna go game by game. The first game, would this be our first round matchup or
Right now?
no, yeah, yeah. Is that our seed? We're the sixth, right?
Right now, we're at 6, yeah.
All right.
We're right ahead of Brooklyn,
And
yeah.
okay, and they're 5, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Okay. I mean, on paper, this is definitely a winnable game. I like some of the I really like Brogdon and Oladipo and Miles
Yeah.
Turner, but and you could say Sabonis, but I don't know.
You don't like Sabonis?
I had Sabonis on my fantasy team, so I will
Oh,
defend
that's
him.
true. Yeah.
So, but one thing is, yeah, I think he actually could be an X factor because we do not like Al Horford on this podcast, and
We do
I
not like Al
d- d-
Horford.
yeah. Despite clamping Joel Embiid every single time they played when he was in Boston, so Sabonis is he was an all-star, and I don't know if he can take over a game, but if he can, we're kind of like screwed in this game.
I don't think Sabonis can take over.
Yeah, I don't think he can. I still think we're the better team, but I said this before we recorded. You can never tell the Sixers.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, I have this as a W.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, Indiana has a lot of good depth, but I think you also have to look at, I mean, Victor Oladipo, is he going to help this offense or is he going to hurt this offense? Because if you look at the games that Indiana played when he was back, when he was not the same, they did not play well at all. That offense was not in sync. So if they can get that chemistry back and get that flowing, I think this team can be a dangerous sleeper team in the playoffs. But I mean, I think if not, I would not be worried about this game.
And this is kind of just random, but I just realized that Brogdon didn't he win Rookie of the Year over? Were we trying to like vouch
Over
for
Dario and
Dario?
Embiid.
Yeah, Dario and Embiid, and
Justice for
it'll be
Dario.
it'll be the return of Sixers legend T.J. McConnell, but
Yes. Well, remember.
Yeah, we've
he
already
had
played
that
a couple
one
of games.
and then he roasted us.
Yeah.
It was like New Year's Day. He destroyed us. It was awful. But
Going to the second game against the San Antonio Spurs. I used to kind of I wouldn't consider myself a fan, but I've always liked what the Spurs have done as a franchise. But at this point in time right now, I think they're in like a really bad spot just because they have a ton of vets. Like, I mean, they're still good players, but they have a weird mix of declining veterans and up and coming players who kind of don't get as much, I don't know, volume.
You better not
as they should.
disrespect DeJounte Murray on this podcast,
Yeah.
Nathan John.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say because I think DeRozan and Aldridge should take a back seat for like DeJounte Murray and Derek White, but
I agree. I mean, we talked about it. I mean, this team is built so old school, and with Aldridge not even playing, I mean, I can't really see them going anywhere. I think I have them going 1-7. I think.
Okay. And isn't Murray hurt?
Is Murray hurt?
Okay, that was a very minor injury, so I don't think it matters. Oh wait. Okay, it says he speaks out for the first time since injury. So, and that was like 2 days ago. So I don't know. It's a calf strain. I don't know.
He'll probably be fine. Yeah. Oh, he'll be fine by the playoffs. Yeah.
On to the next game. Against the Washington Wizards, which are probably the most ridiculous team in the playoffs, other than like the Suns, maybe. They have no right to be here. Let's be real here. Without Bertans, without John Wall, this is just a Bradley Beal one-man show. This is 5-1. It's sad. Yeah, this is definitely a win because, as you said, Bradley Beal has no help, unless you want to consider Sixers legend Ish Smith.
Yes.
The second best player on that team, or like Thomas Bryant.
3-point shooter Ish Smith.
Yeah, like Rui. I mean, they have some decent players.
Rui is so bad defensively, though. Yeah. I loved him out of college, but the way he's been playing defensively, it's not good. I mean, that whole team, honestly, they allow the most points in basketball. So I expect Embiid to dominate in the paint this game, really.
Yeah.
So 3 W's so far, right? 3-0. Yeah.
Okay, next we're facing another Sixers legend, Markelle Fultz, in the Orlando Magic the next game.
Oh God!
I think there's another. Yeah, if anybody else is on our team, but I was gonna say Ennis, but we traded for him from Orlando.
Vucevic.
Oh yeah, Vucevic was on there.
Yeah.
And anyway, I Michael Carter Williams. Oh my God, I forgot he existed. And I guess they do have Ennis. Yeah.
The 2012 Rookie of the Year, Michael Carter Williams.
Yeah.
Legend of the process.
I mean, this team is fine. They have some solid starters, but did they?
Statement.
Yeah, I kind of like Jonathan Isaac, Fournier, Aaron Gordon, Terrence Ross. I mean, they have some decent NBA players, but they don't have a superstar. I mean, Vucevic can be an all-star if he feels like it, but
I think
I think Aaron Gordon is kind of overrated. But
I think he's one of the most overrated players in basketball, to be honest. I mean, we so hyped him after the dunk contest, and that was great. I mean, but that's not basketball. I mean, when you look at the game this guy actually plays, he can drive down the lane. He's okay defensively.
He's a
What else can
decent
he
shooter.
do?
I think he can shoot pretty
He's
well.
he's not great. He's very inefficient. But I mean, this team, I mean, is so stuck in purgatory right now.
Yeah.
That they're in the worst place you can possibly be in the NBA. The Wizards too. And that's straight mediocre. And so, I mean, I think this should definitely be a W.
Yeah.
Though I do love Jonathan Isaac. I think he is a great piece.
Mm-hmm.
He's got crazy length. He can knock down from three. I think he's a great piece. He's going to be a star.
Yeah. Okay, on to the first mildly challenging game. You can debate debatably against the
I would
Blazers.
say, yeah.
Damian Lillard. I mean, this definitely could go either way. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think you think this is a loss, but I think it's a win because
Really?
I think this is a kind of a big word. Because it's a big word. It's a dilapidated team because they do not have the depth that they had. I don't know if I'm not sure if Nurkic is going to come back by then. I know they don't have Rodney Hood or Zach Collins, and yeah, I think this is another yet another run where I mean I know CJ was really good in the playoffs last year, but this is 100% on Damian Lillard if they even want to go anywhere, like even sneak in as like an 8 or 7 seed. So I mean I'd say it's a win. You can say why it's a loss, but okay.
I think this upcoming, what are we calling this? The NBA restart? Is that what we're calling this?
Yeah, sure.
I think this is where Damian Lillard really takes a step into really, really an all-time great range. And I think when he has to put this team on his back to fight for that 8 seed, with the clutchness he obviously has, his ability from 3, the fact that he is a great defender. And, I mean, Hassan Whiteside, I know Joel Embiid owns headspace in his head.
Yeah.
But he is the perfect player to play with this team, to kick it out to Dame and CJ. And so I think this is an out, honestly, because I just think with the way Portland's schedule looks, this looks like one of the easier games. And I think Dame's going to be locked in, and I think he's going to fight for this one. And
Now that I think about it, this could be a loss. As far as the regular season goes, this is a typical Sixers lose a game that they should win.
Exactly.
And looking down at Houston, I think that we could actually win that game. So moving on to what I just referenced, the Phoenix Suns. They also have no reason being here like the Wizards.
Definitely.
I mean, free Devin Booker, free Kelly Oubre, free to goat Aaron Baines.
Yes.
But
I mean, I really wonder what it would take to acquire Devin Booker, to be honest.
I mean, I would give him. I would give up Tobias for sure. I would give up.
I would give Tobias.
Matisse. I would.
We'd have to throw in Matisse.
I would give him like Shake.
I don't think they would take Shake, honestly.
Would they take Furkan even though he's a legend? I would much rather give up Furkan than Matisse.
No, I'd rather give up anybody. I'd rather give up Richardson than Matisse, to be honest. But I mean, I think it would take a lot. Couple picks.
I would not give up multiple starters for Devin Booker. But
I mean, with this team,
I mean, I know we have no depth.
Give Tobias Harris, Al Horford, and Josh Richardson. I would kind of do that.
If we get another like decent player in it, then sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if we give up so much of our depth straight up for one player, I don't think it would work.
No, it's kind of like the Tobias situation where he gave up shit.
Or it's you could argue the Paul George thing too.
Yeah, that's true.
Giving up all those picks and shit. I really like Shea, and Gallinari is pretty good. So
yeah,
I definitely think that so far Paul George is not living up to the hype. So
no, but I think he's playing injured. I mean, you watch him play, And that starting lineup, I mean, the games that they actually have played together, they're 7-1. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If I were to take the Clippers odds, the Lakers odds, and the Bucks odds, I would say Clippers, Lakers tied, and then the Bucks. Honestly, because
Yeah,
I mean, you're going. This is basically a fresh start. Everybody's
yeah,
healthy, and the Lakers, if they're missing that depth, I think. I mean, that could be the difference if Kawhi goes
yeah,
Kawhi mode.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I
we'll see.
think I think they're opposites. LA, the both two LA teams, because
Yeah,
the Lakers are so top heavy. But I mean, you have two top five players in the league, so I don't.
so,
I know it's a yeah, it's definitely a superstar driven league right now. So they definitely
yeah.
could like if they meet in the Western Conference Finals with the Clippers, it definitely could go to 7 games either way. So
I mean, I see it almost as almost a Kobe Shaq
yeah,
situation. I
yeah,
mean, you look at those Kobe Shaq teams, it's a bunch of aging veterans
yeah,
built
like
around that team who can shoot okay. Robert
yeah,
Horry,
yeah,
Kwame Brown.
Karl Malone,
Yeah,
uh, Gary Payton, like those
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
So, I mean,
And I still on paper prefer the Clippers because they're just so deep. They have so many
oh,
great players.
yeah,
Like
definitely on paper.
even though he's kind of a clown, I think Patrick Beverley's decent. I've always
Yeah.
liked Lou Will. I like Montrez coming out of college, and I was right about that. So.
Really? I had never heard of Montrez
No, no,
before.
no, no. Oh, it was it was when he was on the Rockets, and then I
I
think he
hadn't
was
even
in.
heard of him then either.
Yeah, I remember he was decent on the Rockets. I think I learned about him from like 2K, and I think he was
Yeah.
in the Chris. Was he in the Chris Paul trade to Houston? I think so.
Yeah, he was. He was, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, he's a
yeah,
great six man off that bench.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
they still have some. Yeah, they still have good bench pieces like Sixers like
yeah.
Lindy Shaman, of course.
Yes. Image
Who else?
factory over here.
Could say Zubac, but that's a stretch.
Zubac is good. Zubac is good. I like Zubac more than most people, to be honest. I mean, he can get in the paint. He's a great defender
Yeah,
for a bench guy. He's solid enough.
yeah. I mean, they also have like one of the Morris brothers, Reggie. I think Reggie Jackson was underrated signing. What else?
He was, because,
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't even have to pay him that much.
yeah. And yeah, they have a lot of bums just looking through at the end, like Terrence. And I won't clown Terrence Mann, but like Patrick Patterson, like guys who've kind of like fallen off. But
Oh, no. Yeah.
I still think they can give the Lakers a run for their money. And Milwaukee, as much as I like Giannis, I still have my doubts, to be honest.
Yeah, I do too.
They're still a deep team, but I think last year, seeing how they played against Toronto, could be exactly how they play this year.
Yeah. I think
But
those teams
yeah,
are very similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
As I mean, I know DiVincenzo has gotten a little bit better than last year, but I think the loss of
Yeah.
Brogdon was actually like really big because he's such a great player. I mean, I know he has a
Yeah.
lot. I know he has a lot like more to do in Indiana since he doesn't have like superstars in his team, but
But I do think to an extent Dante has taken that role. He's not a
yeah,
great shooter at
yeah,
all, but I mean, great defensively.
yeah.
Again, I'm a Nova fan, so I mean, I'm gonna overhype it a little
Yeah.
bit. But great,
So I mean, so on the topic of Dante DiVincenzo, I mean, I never physically shook his hand. I
yeah,
never said hi, Dante. I mean, I did say hi, Dante, but this
yeah,
is a very deep cut story from when I was like 8. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
So when he was still in high school, I went
yeah.
to a basketball camp and he was just there practicing. I'm like, hi,
Really?
Dante. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
At Sally's?
Yeah, it's uh.
Dang. And
If
you knew
you
who he was?
I mean, no, well, I didn't really know. I mean, I knew who he was just because he was kind of since he got like he was in Nova short, so I'm like, oh, he's going to Villanova. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, he had a really good college career.
He had a solid college career.
I
Yeah.
mean, that
Everybody
one, the
picks
one,
up the national championship game. Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
mean, besides that, it was fine. But
I mean, I've met a guy who plays with Giannis, so sure.
I mean,
Yeah, let's hear it for
big
Delaware
things.
legend Dante DiVincenzo.
Delaware
That's
legend.
okay.
Anytime you want to come on the pod, Dante.
Oh
Welcome.
yeah, sure. So I mean, I think we just talked about 10 minutes about completely unrelated to what you're talking about, but we're
Pretty
gonna
much.
move
But
on to the second to last game in the schedule against the Toronto Raptors, reigning champions. I think currently like the second seed in the East. I'd say it's a loss
I
because
say it's a loss.
I mean
They just match up so much better against us.
yeah.
I mean, Siakam can just dominate in the paint. They've got great shooters on the outside. Marc Gasol just consistently bullies Joel Embiid defensively.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and me.
this,
Kyle Lowry's still good. You still have decent players like legend
yeah,
OG Anunoby.
yeah. I mean, that team,
Terrence Davis,
everybody
right?
was talking about how they were done. And me too, to be honest. But the way Nick Nurse coaches that team and the depth they still have, we shouldn't have been surprised by the way they've come out and just dominated this. I mean, it's been amazing. Nick Nurse should win Coach of the Year again, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll definitely just give it to like Frank Vogel or
I know, like
yeah,
they'll definitely
usually it's not the best coach, it's usually just the best team. So
yeah.
like this is unrelated, but like in the NFL, like how Jim Harbaugh got it instead of like a Mike Tomlin. So
Yeah. I mean, really, I mean, what did you really have to do with LeBron and Anthony Davis?
yeah,
To be honest,
they're basically just
what
playing.
development did you have
Yeah.
exactly?
It's like if Tyronn Lue won Coach of the Year, like it would be completely worth
Yeah,
it.
exactly. We miss Ty Lue, coaching legend Ty Lue. All right, last game, Houston and us, and I have this as W, believe it or not. I think the way the Rockets play that small ball is built for Joel Embiid to dominate, and I think he will.
You could say Ben Simmons, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, and Ben Simmons. But I think this is a statement win for the Sixers. I think they will be the 4 seed in the NBA playoffs, honestly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I think they're being very grateful to us with the schedule. And I also say it's a win, but
I mean, it was already listed out. That second half of the season we knew coming in was going to be so much easier than the first half. So, I mean, they are kind of gifting it to us, but with the way with how hard that first half was, we had that. Remember that awful stretch where we were on the road for like Boston, Milwaukee. I think we deserve this.
Yeah, and I still say it's a win because I think he's not as good as 2K says he is, like an 86 overall, but
really,
I think no. This is I don't think. I think Clint Capella definitely could have changed his game because running PJ Tucker on Joel Embiid is absurd. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
As many as concerned as for his health as I am, I think Joel Embiid could have like 20 Chick-fil-A sandwiches and still drop like 30 on him.
Exactly. I mean, what's he like? I think he's like 6'5", isn't he?
6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
And then I mean, they still if Harden plays out of his mind, then maybe it could be a close game. If Westbrook
they dominated us in the regular season.
Yeah.
They dominated.
And if Sixers legend Robert Covington has a revenge game, but you know.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I still trust it.
All right. So I mean that's basically it for the NBA stuff. I wrote down are the Sixers contenders, and my answer is no, obviously. But no.
Really? Still.
I still think we are even if we get to the 4th seed, we're still the 4th best team in the conference.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
would
then
not
even
say
it,
championship contenders.
yeah,
I think they still make a move. I think they
they
can.
can get out of the first round, but if we face any of the first 3 seeds in the second round, as like
Yeah.
if they move up or down, Boston, Toronto, and Milwaukee, we're still gonna get smacked by any of them in the
Yeah.
second round. And even if we stay where we are and play Boston, I think we're gonna lose that in like
I think we're
6
gonna lose
games.
that game. Yep. Like I said on the last pod, I think they're just built to beat us. I think the way Brett Brown's played against Boston the past couple of years, I
It's been
think,
really bad.
yeah, Jason Tatum, I think they're built to beat us.
This is in no way to pad the length of this episode, but do you think if I didn't add this in our outline, but do you think
Yeah,
if we lose another playoff series, that Brett Brown is actually like even has a moderate chance of even getting fired?
yeah, I think so. I think so. I think if Brett Brown doesn't get out of the first round, he's gone.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean that they gave him his
So
chance. I
yeah,
mean,
they
there
gave
are
him a
people
chance.
calling for him to be fired after that Boston game, that Boston series, that first year we made the playoffs. And so I think at some point management has to give in. And, you know, I don't know if it's the best move, really,
Yeah,
because like I talk about real relationships between the players and Brett Brown.
yeah,
But I think it's probably the smartest move.
yeah,
Again, on the outside looking in, but probably
yeah.
the smartest
Because
move.
from a strictly basketball standpoint, he has no right coaching a
Yes,
team that is this good. I mean, they're not that
exactly.
good, but he he uh, he coached a team that won 10 games to tank for the #1 pick.
Exactly.
That
It was
he
just it was a different environment. It was a
yeah.
different atmosphere. And
It
so
was he was just a placeholder for when they could contend, and they kept him anyways. And it
exactly.
just like it's but he is playing. He is coaching above his pay grade. Like he is not.
Exactly.
He is a below average coach on a
Yeah.
above average team.
Above average team. And so I
And
think, you can get a Kenny Atkinson,
yeah, I was gonna say that.
really. Like, yeah.
I think
Like
how we
that
coached
could be
that.
his team over the edge.
I mean, I know there's some cancers on that Nets team, like Kyrie,
Exactly.
but how we coached that Brooklyn team last year
Yeah,
would definitely work.
D'Lo.
Would definitely work with like Jay Rich
Yeah.
and Matisse and like all the young guys, like especially
Yeah.
Ben.
The way he built that system. He's
Yeah,
he's a lot tougher coach than
yeah,
Brett Brown, but that's what this team needs, to be honest.
yeah,
He would force Ben to shoot. He would force Joe to stop eating Chick-fil-A
yeah,
to an extent. I think I think he would come in and it would be his way or the highway. And
yeah,
whether that is for better or worse for these players, we'd have to see. But I think it'd be worth a shot.
yeah. And yeah, I'm not gonna say he's gonna revive the dead career of Al Horford, but
Now
you
you
never
still
know.
got to trade that contract.
I don't even think like Phil Jackson can make Al Horford
Really?
a good player again, unless it's like a
Really?
I'm being dead serious. I mean,
You're being dead serious? I
I,
mean,
I
he's been pretty bad, but
yeah, I don't yeah, I just don't think he'll have like a resurgence. Like you could say like a Ray Allen. That,
yeah,
I think
that
that
would
one,
work.
and like Miami,
Miami. Yeah. All
but
right.
yeah, if he was just a adequate player, then I would have no problem with him. If he was above average, if he did his
Yeah.
job, but he's not doing
Yeah.
that. That's why we hate him on this podcast.
Exactly. He was meant to be a stretch four wing with the scoring ability, and he has been nothing close to that.
Yeah.
And so we have the right to be disappointed. We
Hmm.
should be.
He is not worth a max contract. That's just
Oh,
how
that's
it
just
is.
exactly.
All right, so we're gonna move on to some very minor Eagles news that apparently at I think it was the 53rd pick,
Yeah.
the Eagles, of course, they famously drafted quarterback Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma, but
Yep.
they in the war room they had internal discussions about drafting Jeremy Chinn or J.K. Dobbins. I know
Yeah,
Chinn is probably your favorite out of the three, just as far as team needs goes.
definitely.
But I don't know. As much as team needs go, as far as team needs goes, I think Dobbins would have been, I think, a similarly bad pick for the Eagles. But,
Yeah,
I mean, I still think
but
he would have been incredible for the Eagles. But
I think I believe it or not am slightly starting to come around on this whole Jalen Hurts train thing. And I know I'm not with the quarterback factory thing, but again, if you can turn him into some kind of Taysom Hill like weapon
yeah,
with, I mean, he's got speed. He's a strong runner. I mean, I think while it's not the ideal pick,
mhm,
obviously, compared to a Jeremy Chinn, who I loved out of college, great safety out of Virginia, I think it's, you know, not not as horrendous as maybe it was hyped to be.
yeah. And
And
still think as a committee, running back by committee, I think Dobbins kind of would have been wasted. But
yeah,
I think he
definitely.
can make the debate. I mean,
I
although
mean,
he's getting older, I think Dobbins might be a little worse than he could be if he's on like Baltimore. But
yeah, and he's had so many carries in
yeah,
college. To be honest, you don't know if he's gonna show up and be like a DeMarco Murray. That's the
yeah,
risk you're taking in the second round. And when you have a guy like Miles Sanders and a system like Doug Peterson, in which it's a committee, and it's you get 10 carries and then we switch him out, like,
yeah,
and you need a gadget back. J.K. Dobbins isn't going to be a gadget back.
yeah.
He's been a workhorse his whole career. And so I would equally not love that pick, I think, as much as the Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have brought as much disgust just looking at the screen saying you got a quarterback, but it still makes little to no sense. But
Yeah, I
right.
agree. I agree. I
Yeah, we're
mean,
gonna move on to some college news. After the horrendous UNC season, I have kind of mentally checked out of college basketball. So we can
really?
talk about this. Yeah.
So Emoni Bates, the number one prospect in the 2022 class, hailed as the next LeBron James, committed today, to everybody's surprise, to Michigan State,
That's
which
so weird.
is really weird. Apparently, they were the only team really heavily recruiting him, but still, that's really, really strange.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm thinking he just wanted security for
Yeah.
the future, but with the way the NCAA has been corrupted and the way all these guys are going to the G League, I still can't wrap my head around why really.
Yeah, it's still weird. I expect players of his caliber to go to like better schools like Duke or Kentucky or like those kind of
Well,
schools.
yeah, to an extent. I mean, I think Tom Izzo is still a top quality coach, and I
Yeah,
don't know that Duke was chasing him that much, to be honest. I
yeah.
mean, I think he got recruiting letters, but I think Michigan State was really chasing him.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know whether to expect him to play a game on campus or not, but it's just weird. Just
Yeah.
weird news.
I mean, going back to the UNC thing, I think it was a really awful season. I mean, Cole
Yeah.
Anthony, as much as I liked him, I don't think it'll translate at the NBA level, to be honest. But
No. I don't know if it will either. I
yeah,
mean, I honestly think, he's not a great shooter.
yeah,
He's a good he's a good passer, but he's not a great defender. He's really
he's kind
undersized.
of inefficient for
Yeah.
whatever. But going back to that, I think their 2020 whatever recruitments have been good. Like they have, I think looking at this, they had 3 5 stars in the class of 2020, like Caleb Love,
Yeah.
Walker Kessler, Darren Sharp. I only know one of those guys, but we're not going to talk about that.
Walker Kessler's a god on 2K, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You get him in those draft classes.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah,
I think I think they're kind of taking a back seat to Duke now, to be honest, which is
yeah.
depressing as a UNC fan, but
I mean,
it is what it is.
Krzyzewski is just a great coach, I think.
Mhm.
And I think, he's getting these recruits. So
And did you see the Mikey Williams thing? That's so crazy. They got him
What?
a car.
They got him what?
Duke got him like a Lambo or something. It was so crazy.
Seriously?
I swear to God.
Is that legal?
I doubt it is.
Oh my God. Somebody's got to fine him for that. That's insane.
That is major tampering.
Yeah.
Or Instagrams is a big lie. I don't know.
I mean,
probably.
With what he did against Flight, I mean, he deserves it. But
yeah.
He destroyed June Flight. He deserves all of that car.
Yeah. So, final headline of the day. I know we talked about how the Lakers have no depth, and then they signed the Henry God himself, J.R. Smith.
Yes.
I mean, I think the loss of Avery Bradley kind of makes sense, but in the grander scheme of things, I don't think it makes them any better. But
I mean, I think it could possibly make them worse, to be honest.
So, I mean, he hasn't. When was the last? He hasn't been in the league for like 2 years, right?
A year and a half, yeah. And I know they didn't have many other options, but the downgrade is definitely substantial. And like I said, the depth for the Lakers is going to be key in that Clippers-Lakers series, I think. And I don't know what to think. I think we're just going to have to see.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, this is a good episode. This is our 7th, so I think right after this we're gonna talk about, since it's probably bad timing because we're a few days from the deadline for players to say if they want to play or not. So I mean, we'll get to that soon.
We'll have an emergency pod for that, and it'll be your birthday, so we can celebrate that.
Oh
we
yeah,
can have a birthday pod. Yeah.
And and one final thing, we get to laugh at the Knicks. I mean, he's not an elite player, but they released Alonzo Trier for like one of the most mediocre players in basketball, Theo Pinson, UNC legend.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, what are you doing?
That's so sad.
I mean, I think Trier is a solid player.
He's decent enough. There's still talent there. I wonder if he demanded a release.
Or it's probably just the Knicks, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for listening or watching, wherever you are.
Thank you for listening, guys.
And we'll be back pretty soon.